Welcome back, everybody, to a brand new episode. So we finally have the entire WandaVision line, and I honestly could not be any more excited and overwhelmed that we finally have the entire line right here. I remember when it all started with number 713 and number 714, and I honestly never really thought I would end up collecting the entire line. Now, before I continue, I just want to remind you guys that I am currently giving away a Scarlet Witch Hot Topic exclusive number 828 Funko Pop. The giveaway is going to conclude on May 21st, 2021, 11:59 Eastern Time. After that, no more entries are going to be allowed. There's 4 simple rules you got to follow. You got to be subscribed, Hulk smash that like button, comment down below which one was your favorite Funko Pop, and of course be a US resident. Now, for any people that are outside the US, if you have a US address, that's totally valid as well. And for any people that do not, you're more than welcome to join my membership club. For Funko Pops like these, it's just not worthwhile shipping them out, because the shipping is actually much more than it is to buy the Funko Pop overseas, so it's just not convenient in my eyes. But if you would definitely like to participate in future giveaways, you can just feel free to join my membership club, and you will automatically be entered into any future giveaways down below. Just click down the join button down below and you will automatically be entered, plus get a couple more perks that come along with my channel. Anyways, let's go ahead and start the video. Alright, so I want to make this a short and sweet little recap. I don't want to make this too long, but I gotta be honest, it's kind of hard not to end up talking about these for hours, because after all, you could really end up doing that. But I gotta be honest that it's kind of crazy to see how the characters have evolutionized over time. We started off with what was a simple, ample character, Vision. We didn't know exactly what was going on, and then we end up with the new Scarlet Witch, which is kind of weird because we ended up seeing that in a couple episodes at the beginning, but we didn't really end up seeing that true form until the last episode. I personally gotta say that the way the pops were actually released and made into order is quite peculiar, to be honest, because it seems like the pops actually divide half and half. There is no midsection, and I would completely understand, because there was really rough areas where you couldn't really produce Funko Pops. But again, it just splits. There's like 2 different scenarios, one where we're in her rom-com, and the other one where things really hit to start the fan and they just do not make sense. I think it really, what was the midpoint had to be when Billy and Tommy were brought into the show, where things really started to get weird. But then again, from there, that was probably the midpoint, and after that there was no Funko Pops, nothing too crazy going on, and it wasn't until the last half of the show where we actually ended up getting these last couple of pops, except of course Monica Rambeau, but I always kind of end up putting her with the rest of the actual wave. Now, a quick little specs about these pops. You will, if you want to collect the entire line at the second that it's going on right now, you're looking to spend between $300 and $400 for the entire wave. It's quite a lot. The pops have drastically increased since their actual release. I actually ended up getting most of them for about retail price. Of course, I didn't get Pietro nor Division's 50s Chase for retail price, but I got them pretty close. So I didn't really end up spending that much on them. I spent, of course, retail price, which isn't really much. I don't feel like doing the math in my actual head. But you're looking to spend about that much for the entire wave, which I would say you could probably either hold on for them, or you could either get them right now, because you do face a chance of them never ever coming back in stock again, which is very unlikely considering they just released. But it just depends your desire and how bad you really want to get these. If you're not so interested in them, you can definitely wait. I'm sure there's people that just will get rid of their collections, or maybe they'll put more into the market. Alright, so in this series we have 9 commons, 4 exclusives, 1 chase, and 1 convention. So the convention one is probably going to be one of your most difficult one besides the actual chase one. It's kind of bizarre because most of them are still going to get released. Pietro has a confirmed restock. The only one I would see anybody having trouble with is the conventional, again, because they're probably not going to release it. But there's been times where they're like, hey, let me just throw this back out into the market. So the rest are commons, but surprisingly, they're still going for a pretty high price, even though they are still just commons. I think one of the most expensive pops that I have seen so far has to be the Visions so far. We're looking at the Visions 50s and Visions 70s right now. Those I have seen go for astronomical prices. So Those are probably going to be your hardest bet. The rest, you're going for about $15-$20, which is about this price you would pay for an exclusive, or at least a Funko Shop exclusive. BHO, you could definitely wait for that or pay a market price for about 50 USD. As far as any people outside of the US, I don't really know how things would work out over there. Things might be cheaper, they might be harder to get. I know you guys seem to have the supplier of pop culture, but it seems like sometimes people do seem to have access, or at least have early access to Funko Pops than they do in the US. For example, the Vision Glow was actually released there earlier than it was here. People had him and Scarlet Witch number 828 a lot earlier. I think about between a month and two earlier than I had my hands on them. So I know where to go now to get these early access Funko Pops, but nonetheless, they may or may not have a harder chance with getting them. Now, as far as Billy and Tommy goes, he is still in the Disney store in the UK. Yes, I know the UK. You can't get it shipped here in the US, but the people in the UK, if he's still available, feel free to leave a comment down below and let people know, hey, look, I'm in the UK. He's still certainly available. I can definitely get him. Now, of course, it's not convenient to get someone else from the UK to ship it to you, because it would just be much more expensive in shipping materials to actually ship it from the UK to the US. Your best bet, go on eBay. Secondhand market, yes, I know. Oh, look, scalpers, flippers, whatever, deal with it. $60, it's not too much of a markup. If you're in the Funko Pop game, then complaining and being bitter towards other people is not going to get anything fixed, because, you know, they're definitely not going to lower their prices down just because for you. So you can either get them. If not, well, you don't need to be collecting Funko Pops. If I gotta be honest, I think personally my favorite segment of the entire actual wave has to be the black and white ones. Black and white has always seemed to be a very high value Funko Pop to me. Mostly when I first started collecting, I ended up seeing Captain America Gemini exclusive, roughly a PPG value of about $1,000, market value of about roughly the same amount. So having the black and white ones was actually very cool. First time I ended up seeing something like that, and actually the first time I had the black and white Funko Pop. The Chase one, you know, it was pretty cool. Seems like a common theme that they've held throughout the Funko Pops was actually keep a metallic look throughout the Visions, and they've done that pretty well. Now, of course, we did not have that with the Vision. We just seem to kind of exclude away from that. But as far as the other Visions go, of course, we didn't have that with the Vision Halloween either. But we had that with the Visions 50s. We had that with Vision 70s, and it did seem to try to repeat the same thing in the Vision. Now, I couldn't really tell if that was the case, but nonetheless, it seems like with Vision, it was pretty cool that they try to keep this metallic look to him, because after all, he is a metal man in a way. Now, I know I did go into repeat about this with the whole story overall, but I think leaving a comment one more time down below is very important. Looking back at the entire story, it's crazy how something so small, something so innocent in a way, expanded into something so complex and harsh in a way. I remember when the first story started, actually people they're like, oh well, it's just a rom-com, nothing interesting. People seem to lose interest in the first two episodes, and I gotta be honest that I wasn't particularly the same way, but I thought it was interesting. But I was like, what is the following way, like what is this going to point to? And of course, I didn't realize that until about episode 3 or 4 hit, when I was like, okay, well, things are really starting to get serious. What's going on here? And it seemed like after the 3rd and 4th episode, it really had your attention. And going back and looking at the entire series again, it makes you appreciate everything that happened at the beginning, because you don't really see anything going on. You're kind of just blindsided, and you're like, okay, it was just a simple rom-com. You don't understand what happens, and it's not until the final episode where you see what ended up happening before the entire city was created of Westview. Now, of course, we have theories, and I think one of the most infamous theories that we have to definitely all appreciate has to be the idea of Mephisto. I think that was ironically, or I guess not ironically, but it was just so out there. There was so much speculation. Oh, well, it's Mephisto. That's all I heard throughout the comments. All I heard episode reviewers, and I was like, man, is that really the case? Now we know that it was just Agatha all along. Anyways, that's all I got. I do not want to make this recap too long. Again, we have a couple Funko Pops, nothing too crazy. As the video has been rolling, hopefully I've been putting clips throughout, so you guys been able to see all the Funko Pops in depth. I'm proud to say that I'm very glad that I was able to review the entire WandaVision line with you guys, and I couldn't be any more appreciative than that. First actual big wave that I've actually ever collected. And unfortunately, I'm letting go of every single one of them except the Vision Glow in the Dark, mostly because the other one, Pietro, I know he's gonna restock, so I'll just wait. I'm willing to let him go and hopefully get him back later. But apart from that, it's been an amazing ride so far, and we're here to conclude WandaVision. I hope we could definitely get to see more Funko Pops of WandaVision in the future, but for that to actually be the case, it's unknowing right now. Hopefully they release that one guy with the afro. I don't remember his name. He was mowing or cutting the brick wall. I want to see a Funko Pop of him and hopefully a Beehive suit. And Howard. Those three Funko Pops are Funko Pops that I definitely want to see. But who knows? I know they're gonna be different titles, and they're not gonna be full additions to the actual series. But those are Funko Pops that I would like to see. And if you guys have any other Funko Pops you would like to see, let me know, and we'll see. Maybe other people also agree with you, and who knows, maybe in the future you might have been correct and predicted, oh look, we actually got this Funko Pop. Anyways, don't forget about the giveaway concluding May 21st. I'll list again the rules and a couple other stuff in the description below, and leave a comment down below as well so you guys are reminded about it. We'll be making 2 more videos on Vision and wanted to conclude everything for once and all in a couple of years, because I don't think I'm going to make a recap again for a couple months or years, depending on how much Vision is there, Scarlet Witches to throw out, which we'll probably see some for Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. But anyways, that's all I got. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace out.